Brand new. It's in the Game podcast here on the Ball is Live Podcast Network. Also on the Cruise Control Podcast Network. As always, I'm joined by my guy, Danny Blanco. I am Danny Blanco on both Instagram and Twitter. Danny Blanco, my man, how you doing?
You know the vibes. It's a celebration. It's a celebration for the proportions.
I'm also joined by my brother, Joe Cruz Jr., who's at Twitter at Hoops in the Sun, Instagram at JCruz CEO. Joe, my man, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. It's a pleasure to be on It's in the Game. Major blockbuster deals went down today, and I'm just blessed to be with you guys, Randy and Denny. Happy New Year, and pleasure to be here.
Happy 2021. I think it's a wrap. I think after the 13th? I think definitely after the 5th. No more Happy New Year. You heard?
So, Danny Blanco.
Talk to me. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Talk to me.
You are wearing a Brooklyn Net hat. You are diehard Net fan since last year.
Yes.
You bleed black and white. Mm-hmm. This must be a great day for you, man. Everything happened like an hour and a half ago, and we've seen this morning how Harden really wanted out of Houston from last night's game against the Lakers. He did not look like the MVP player that he normally is. And now, almost 24 hours later, he is now a member of the Brooklyn Nets. Your Brooklyn Nets. And a lot of people moved in his deal. Trades, draft picks, draft swaps, players. Outside looking in before we get into the crux of the details. What do you make of James Harden finally becoming a member of the Brooklyn Nets?
Give me 2 minutes, JC, Joe Cruz. Give me 2 minutes. I gotta just give you my heart.
Also, real quick before you go, those who are chiming in, I thank you. Got about 200, 300 people in here right now. If you got a question or comment about the James Harden deal to Brooklyn, anything about the NBA, drop it in the chat. We'll get to it. Just trying to raise some more engagement for the shows. Danny Blanco,
absolutely. Talk to us. Listen, give me 2 minutes, y'all. All right. Now, as as Randy eloquently said earlier, that yes, I've been a Nets fan for a little bit. Okay. Yes.
1 year. 1 year. 1 year.
Yes, that's because my philosophy is very simple. GMs and owners do bad things, thus mess up teams. Now here I am, jumping on a ship that I thought was going to be Kyrie, Kevin Durant, Dinwiddie, LeVert, Allen, Harris. I thought that was going to be the construction of my team. Lo and behold, I hear this James Harden situation bubbling. I wasn't really too happy with James Harden. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't too happy about the talk. I think we're fine without him. We, as in the Nets, I thought we were fine without him. Okay? I saw this game last night with the Lakers. All right. James Harden took the night off. What I mean by that is he was playing with 25 extra pounds on his belly. Okay. He was dribbling it. He was dribbling up the court, passing it to Dennis Schroeder, not making it past half court. Dennis Schroeder going back for a layup. LeBron James was so bored and knew the game was already wrapped up in the third quarter, somewhere around there.
Right.
Where he just came down. He was just lollygagging. Hey, throw me the ball. Hey, throw him the ball in the corner.
Yeah, he looked bad.
Shoots a three and then turns around and says, going in, bet me. I mean, when you can shoot a three, no one around you, no one wants to even challenge your three-point shot. And you turn around and make a bet with your bench, and your bench is going crazy. Meanwhile, here's Harden playing, getting paid to play, playing terribly. Here's John Wall looking at him, John Wall diving on the floor, competing with Dennis Schroeder. Here's DeMarcus Cousins trying to fight with Gasol. All these other players are playing on Houston, looking at James Harden like, now here we are. The trade has happened. He's now on my team. This may not even be my team by tomorrow.
Did you see the pass that Harden did when he got stuck at the 3-point line? And I think John Wall was the guy he gave it to, but he kind of like just lobbed it over there, like, here, you do whatever with it. Like, I don't know, man. Like, Harden just listen. I know he wanted out. He's finally out. I know he's a happy man right now. Obviously, we'll get to it, but the big question is, he is overweight. How is he gonna get in shape in Brooklyn that quick? I mean, is he not going to be so invigorated? Like now, he's going to play all inspired and love his teammates. Obviously, KD is there, but at some point in time, you got to get in shape, man.
He's going to go to Whole Foods and get the organic foods. Don't even worry about it. Joe. Now, see, we were just talking before we got on. We was talking about how, it's about the game, bro. It's always about the game. So I was a little concerned when I saw that game last night, and then obviously today it's a trade. I understood what was happening. The Houston Rockets players literally said, if you don't get this guy away from us, insurrection.
So I know there's a couple questions that the fans want. So you can ask that real quick, and I'll jump on.
All right. So first question: are the Lakers still the favorite?
You damn right, Jay Lane 631. You damn right.
Jay Lane 631. I'm a concur with my partner. Hell yeah, Lakers look good. LeBron looks good. They're playing him 30 minutes, 32 minutes a game. They're managing his minutes. They are, they are a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And I think that we'll get to that point where we'll see who comes out the East now. But I think that the Lakers will come out the West.
Yeah, it's sewn up.
Next
question. All right. Second question. Kyrie gonna show up now? I think so.
No.
You
have to define what show up means, ladies and gentlemen, boys.
Listen, whatever he's going through, whatever. All right, I'm good now. I'll be there. I'll be there Friday night. Whatever they play next.
Jay Crescent. Let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What is the beef? Are we upset that Kyrie took a week off? Are we upset that the general manager or the head coach wasn't able to contact one of their best players? Are we upset at that? What are we upset about? Are we upset that he's getting away with murder that we can't get away with? What exactly are we upset about? Because after this week, if he comes back, doesn't explain why he was out, continues to play, and hypothetically brings the Nets to a 50-win season, they get into the playoffs and they go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they go up against LeBron in the NBA Finals. Is this going to be a conversation about him taking a week off when the team only plays 12 games? Go ahead, Randy.
I think what is upsetting people,
please tell me,
is or media, it's the fact that Kyrie is taking personal time, but nobody within Brooklyn knows why or where he's at. And plus, you see that video, we have no idea if that video was new or old, but I have partying, and it's like, all right, cool. If you out for personal reasons, that's one thing. But there's a video out there that sees you partying. Again, we don't know when that video was at. Outside looking in, optically, it's like, okay, what are you really doing?
I got two answers for that. Number one,
right.
The team is going to know more than any of us, number one. So that's number one. So when you're talking about, obviously the team's going to have to deal with it, and they already knew who they were dealing with because it was Kyrie Irving. Everybody knew he was just he gets emotional from time to time. Number two, if I'm worth, let's say Kyrie's worth $200 million, hypothetically, you don't think I have enough money and resources to have everyone around me tested for COVID? I mean, honestly, let's say there's 30 people in that room. You don't think I don't have the resources to send my doctor to test you for 30 tests to have you COVID free you think his dad and his sister that was there, or the couple people that they saw on video, you don't think so this conversation about he's around people and he's the guy could literally
you know how much he loses per game with the COVID protocol?
He's getting paid $35 million. Toss it in the bank, talk to the bank, baby. Toss it in the bank.
No, but he'll lose a little over 400 racks per game.
100%. He's signing 90. Listen, I'm not disputing the price. I'm just saying it's only been a week. He won't be back till Saturday. Let's see what happens. And all this conversation talk about, Kyrie retired. We have to understand what exactly we upset about. Are we upset about this guy getting away with murder and being able to tell his boss, F you? I'll come in when I feel like it. If we're upset about that, let's just call it what it is. Don't hide it now.
So, Joe, for you, for this deal, Brooklyn becomes worse defensively. Do you agree?
Trash. Deal was trash.
I think that any questions about them playing defense are going to have more questions.
Trash.
James Harden. I mean, I know he attempted to play defense the last couple of years. Not too sure where that's at. I know
He's 25 pounds less.
I know we have an angry Nets fan here, but can I get my statement in real quick?
Angry Nets fan.
Okay. You lose Jarrett Allen, who's probably one of your best defenders in the middle. And then you get you lose Karis LeVert, who quite honestly is a number 2 player on any team and could play defense. So that's a big loss. Kyrie doesn't play too much defense. So are they worse defensively? I would say yes, but I think that they'll outscore some more teams that can at least eliminate that. Now, the reason I say that, Danny Blanco, because look who's on the sideline. Stoudemire, Nash, D'Antoni. This reminds me of Phoenix Suns 2.0. Right? Phoenix Suns 2.0, a perennial, always in the playoffs, but they never had Kevin Durant. And they never had James Harden and Kyrie on that team, respectfully. And the one thing about this team is that they're dangerous offensively. I don't know if they can stop a cold, but to answer your question, I think they got worse defensively. Hopefully, they have enough offense to outscore their opponents.
Joe, what is the goal of the season for the teams that are in the NBA? What's the goal of the season?
We want to win a championship.
Okay. Who won the championship last year?
Lakers, and then my boy Kevin. His last name I can't pronounce properly, so I won't even attempt it. But it said Lakers still winning the championship.
Yeah.
He put a little emoji that's like bored.
Oh, laughing. Listen. Anyway, that's
I think that Lakers are still going to win the championship. I don't. Again, maybe Denny might feel the Nets are going to be in the finals.
Here's my point with the Nets. That's what I was getting to, right? I asked you about what's the goal to win the championship. Who won last year? The Lakers. My next point was this. You look at the champion from last year.
Yeah.
And your goal should be to beat them or expect to run into them. As prior to this trade constructed, I liked my chances against the Lakers because you had Jarrett Allen as well as DeAndre Young, able big bodies to run around with AD and Gasol. Now,
you always say Gasol, man. It's Gasol. It's Gasol. Gasol, man. There's no U in his name. It's Gasol.
And if you're gonna name a name, say it right. DeAndre Jordan, not.
Yeah. Who is DeAndre Young?
And that's why you're here to help me because all these players sound alike. No, I'm just messing with you. But listen, that's my point. The trade for DeAndre Jordan, excuse me. I mean, DeAndre Jordan's still there, but when you trade Allen, that's my beef. So now, Danny Blanco may be looking for a new NBA team to join because once again, the GM makes a dastardly move and now affects the team that I thought was going to go to the chip. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think they possibly can out the East. But when you get to the Lakers, it's going to be a buzzsaw. Next question.
Jay said Kyrie makes $40 million. Anyone who makes that amount of money should be at least at work.
Who said?
Jay. So again, listen, man. When it comes to stuff like that, Jay said it.
Yeah.
Listen, man, we don't know what those reasons why Kyrie is out. I mean, I still give benefit of the doubt of why he might be out. I understand outside looking in, it's like, all right, you make this amount of money, and you don't come to work, and you don't let people know any updates. You ain't telling your fans where you're at, any update. So I do understand that. As opposed to the basketball fan, it's like, yo, Kyrie, where you at, man? Come on, let's go. And then it's like
Dennis Rodman did what in the Last Dance?
Rodman went to Vegas, partied, but he was back within like a week.
Could Theo Ratliff do that?
But they knew where he was at, though.
I wrestled you. My point is this: could Theo Ratliff do that? Could any second tier, third tier player do that? The point is, when you have a superstar of a certain magnitude, a certain level, a top 20 player in a 400, 500 player league, he is going to make the rules. It's just that's just the way it is. That's the way it's always been with Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, Kobe Bryant. Kobe got Shaq traded. Come on, bro. This is what happens when you are a player of a certain magnitude. So now, this is where we are.
So, Joe, question for you from Jay: if this team works out and they stick together, will they be able to break the Warriors' 73 win record?
No.
No.
You got to play defense. No. You got to have a not saying Nash not a good coach. You got to have a system, a coach, and a foundation. And as Nash is trying to figure things out on the sideline, which I still think that he's being helped by the D'Antoni others to coach him, just like how Jay was. Yeah. It's gonna take him it's gonna take him a minute to get to that point. If they really buy in and understand that they're probably the top 10 players in the NBA themselves, and they look in the mirror and say like, "Yo, can we put this together?" and they really commit, I mean, this is a dangerous team. I don't think they will be 73 wins. That Warriors team is one of the best teams ever. So that's hard to compare to.
Yeah, it's not going to.
So let me break this down. So those who don't know what the deal is, Brooklyn gets James Harden. Originally, LeVert and Dante Exum and Caruth and 4 first-round picks and 4 first draft pick swaps were going to Houston. Jarrett Allen, Taurean Prince go to Cleveland. What happened after that was LeVert is now going to Indiana. Oladipo now goes to Houston. So, part 1 to the question. So, Danny Blanco, we all live in New York, right? So now we have in New York City 3 of the top 10, 15 players in the NBA on one team in one borough. Like just as a New Yorker, Knick fan don't matter. As a New Yorker, how do you feel just having those 3 kind of guys with that amount of talent in the city that you live in?
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for the. We've been so thirsty. I mean, so Sahara Desert thirsty for some exciting basketball, if you will, for both teams, the Nets and the Knicks. Now that we're here, yes, it's going to be exciting. Maybe in the near future, we could possibly go to some games. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting. It's going to be better for the city. Once again, I want to see a 25-pound less James Harden. Not that Harden that I saw last night. If the Nets received the Harden that we saw last night, they out of the second round of the playoffs. They may not make the playoffs.
It happening. Listen, get over the 25 pounds and get over that. He's not gonna come to the Nets with that energy. He's playing with the 1A, 1B player in the world. You think that he's gonna lose out on another opportunity to come back from OKC when he knew he could have won a chip? Hold on. He could have won a chip or 2 for being egotistical. He's still being egotistical, but now he has to conform. And the conformality is you got to play within this parameter, and this is what we got to do to get to that point. And I think with the people around him and everything going on with him, and the fact that he already caused uproar, he can't do this again. I think he's going to conform and he's going to get into shape, and you're going to see the Harden that we were all amazed about. The person who revolutionized the game of basketball besides Curry in this decade, you will see him because he has no other place to go and he has no other opportunity. He's 31 years old. Where can he go? And he's not going to get any better than playing with Kyrie. No disrespect to anybody he play with, Kyrie or Durant, at this juncture in his career. So I think you're going to see in shape Harden. 10 games, 20 games, I don't know. You're going to see him get in shape. You're going to see him do what he got to do. And I guarantee you're going to see those 3 work together to get to make this happen, because now they all have been in a situation where they had a big 3 and they have to make it work.
Joe.
And I'm telling you this, hold on. Kyrie going to come back now.
Real quick.
You don't even know if it's personal or not, whether it's personal family or personal with the business, because last year he had beef about the players he's playing with. So now you got a superstar, a megastar, playing with you, with your boy, who's another megastar. You got to make this right.
Randy,
so
what are you going to say?
If you put it together, I think it'll line up.
Randy, you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
But do you
I
agree
was
with
going to
Danny?
say,
Do you agree
I
with-
agree with that. But my question was going to ask my question
Yeah.
to all of what you just said was, is this season a waste if they don't win a championship?
No,
No,
no.
no.
It's not championship or bust.
Well,
Not for me. Not for this year, Joe. What do you think?
yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. You can't. I mean, it's a pandemic year. 72 games. You're already coming in 12 games a season. You have no training camp. You have no. You're not familiar with your teammates. You don't even know the system. So I think this is a field year.
How far they go? How far do you expect 3 of the top 15 players in the NBA to take a team in the East?
I expect them to make the Eastern Conference Finals either against Philadelphia or the Milwaukee Bucks.
So if they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals, Randy, they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals.
I said the potential and their talent should equal. Hold on, they should equal the NBA Finals. But let's take it a step back in terms of this whole process. I would say at minimum
This year.
the semis.
This year.
At maximum, I need the Eastern Conference Finals. And if they're having a good year, NBA Finals is at reach.
There should be no reason why they don't make the playoffs in the East.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, just making sure. I just want a little bar until we. You know what I'm saying? I just want a little bar where we're at.
Now that is a now.
Yeah.
The championship is going to be a now, but it's going to be not like Randy said. The next 3. If you get a championship, if you get 3 champions out of 5 years, that's a successful trade.
Yeah,
you have to get to that point right now. So I think.
Okay, so let's go here with the way Brooklyn is right now, right?
Yes.
But Denny Blanco, I'll start with you first. Brooklyn or Philadelphia?
Who has a
right
better
now?
record?
No, I'm saying, who's the better team right now, Brooklyn or Philadelphia?
Oh, listen, Brooklyn, man, they got Kevin Durant.
Okay.
What are you worried about? What are you worried about? Why are you so upset today? They're gonna figure it out.
Oh, you know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about chemistry. I'm worried about a guy who I've never seen actually play defense to the point of maybe a small portion of bubble. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried.
Kyrie play defense?
Oh no. So let me answer that. Let me answer that. I'm glad. Let me
take the shades off, man.
Let me answer that for you, okay? Prior to the trade, guess what? They could shield Kyrie with Allen and DeAndre Jordan. They could shield him. Now they're playing small. They're playing small. They got Jeff Green at the center. Are you serious?
What does it remind you of?
Or Jordan? They got Jordan still.
Houston prior. Good luck.
And Houston was coached by who?
D'Antoni. Good
and
luck.
He coached what? The Phoenix Suns.
He coached Phoenix Suns, the fast break off. I get it. That's why
the Rockets. And the Rockets.
And that's why I'm about to find a new team. Because this is BS. That's not what I signed up for. I signed up for Kevin Durant and Kyrie to take a team of strong role players in the East to the finals. That's what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for a guy who was disgruntled at his old team and was so disgruntled he couldn't even. Don't get me wrong. AD did it just recently. Anthony Davis. I'm not gonna put anything past him. I get it. But damn, James.
Let me ask you a question now. Where did you have the Nets before Harden came? Where did you have them? Playoffs or finals?
This year, the finals.
Okay.
This year, the finals.
What is 38 and in shape? 38 and 11 do for you?
Remember this year, instead of it going before trade, final, after trade with James Harden added on 30 plus, trying to play himself into shape, which could take about 25 to 30 games, add the chemistry on top of that. I'm saying if you don't get to at least you're saying, like I said, semifinals, sniffing on the finals door, that's what I expect for a first year. Then the second year, you know what I mean, you pull it together and maybe you add a couple more pieces. You get Dinwiddie back, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe you get him back this year. But no, not this. He's out for the year. So when it comes to that, yeah, but again, you're not beating the Lakers without beef. You're not doing it. It's not going to work. You need beef. You need bodies, big bodies.
Yep.
So to my other question, right now, Brooklyn or Boston? Joe?
Right now?
Yeah, Brooklyn or Boston right now.
Go ahead, Joe. I'll answer for you. That's easy. That's right. That's
I
life.
think talent-wise, the Nets.
Of course.
Right? But hold on, your energy is so unmatched. Hold on, hold on. But Celtics play way better defense, but they also don't have a big man, so they don't have no interior defense besides Mike Tice.
Nice.
So my thing is, you got 2 stars. Now you're still missing Kimba,
True.
right?
True.
Everybody's forgetting that Kimba's the point guard for this team, and you still got a defensive juggernaut in Marcus Smart. So I don't want to say easily the Nets. I think that they got the better players, but I think defensively the Celtics are better. But I think ultimately the Nets will beat the Celtics. But it's not no pushover because they got some gorillas over there and they got some young thugs over there and they about that life. But they just can't guard the X factor, man.
When you're
so to Denny, we mentioned Philly, we mentioned Boston. I would assume you have Brooklyn or Milwaukee. I'm only naming teams that are going to be in the mix come playoff time. The Phillies, the Boston, the Milwaukee, the Miami, Indiana. There's Brooklyn all of a sudden right now above every single one of them.
If Harden
is telling me that.
If Harden's in shape, right? If Harden's in shape and does what he does at a clip that he always does it, I'm going with the Nets only because the equalizer is between Giannis and Durant. I don't want to say they equal each other out, but they're gonna go head to head, right? You got Holiday and Irving. You pick whoever. Holiday's a way better defensive player than Irving. Chris Middleton and James Harden, who you going with, and that's going to be the key. That third piece to that team with another person that scores 30 points a game is the other equalizer, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. I think that's going to happen.
Well,
okay. Now to play advocate, when it comes to playoff basketball, it's different. So when it comes to coaching, Steve Nash, first year coaching, he'll go up against a guy like Doc Rivers, against a guy against like Mike Budenholzer, a guy like Brad Stevens. Now you can have all these big time players, big time egos on one team. It comes down to how you manage that in the playoffs. I think that's the big question I got.
Well, Joe, listen. I mean, Randy, listen. We talking about managing egos and all that, and that is part of it, and it's going to be very interesting. But the environment that's been established with the Brooklyn Nets is one of chill, one of relaxation, one of we're taking it day by day, time by time, and that's because of who you have on the staff: D'Antoni, Steve Nash, Amari. They're not gonna snitch on Kyrie because they know where their bread is buttered. They know they're there for one reason and one reason only. And then to go back to what Joe was saying, listen, if Kyrie, KD, and James Harden each average 30, that's 60 points right there.
So Denny Blanco, who you going to? Final shot. I need a bucket. KD, Kyrie, or James Harden. Who you going to if you're Steve Nash?
Keep the ball away. Keep the ball the F away from James. Keep it the hell away from James Harden. You get that ball into KD at the line, at the free throw line, and let him go to work. Go ahead, Joe.
Listen, man, you gotta timestamp this, man.
I did already.
Timestamp this, okay? Great answer. It's the safest answer you're gonna get. Okay, give it to the Slim Reaper. Yes. But stop disrespecting this guy's name. His name is James Harden. He is the most difficult person to guard. You understand that? And you keep saying this weight and this aura. That's cool. When the next time we get on this call and you tell me, damn, they really doing good. Harden's doing great. This is amazing. I don't want to talk to you because you know what? Basketball players know basketball players. Right? And you know, as everybody else, we play the game. You and I in the backcourt for so many years. You can see talent and you can see opportunity. I'm telling you, if you're gonna get the ball to Kevin Durant's hand, he's gonna get it out his hand and give it to somebody else that can knock down the same shot. And that's the beauty of him not having to do all by himself. It's just like Clay and Curry. Double team comes swinging. You got somebody. You rather have Harden shoot it, or you rather have TLC shoot it?
Harden.
Okay? That's my point. You rather have Joe Harris or Harden?
Harden's
going to give you a free throw. He's going to get you to the foul line. He could score at will when he's in shape. And
create.
He just scored 30 his first game back from him being wherever he was at. He scored 30, 11, and 15. Like, this guy's a walking bucket.
Mm-hmm.
I think his enthusiasm is not into playing for the Houston Rockets anymore.
Joe, I think you're looking at my disposition as I hate James Harden.
You're coming across to me as you are not co-signing this deal for your team, and you feel this man just got 25 pounds heavier and he forgot to play basketball.
No, I feel that he got 25 pounds heavier and he threw Chris Paul under the bus, Westbrook under the bus, the whole Houston Rockets under the bus. He threw all those people I just mentioned, he threw them under the bus. So
who else? Melo, Dwight Howard.
Come on, the list goes on and on. So when I tell you, Joe, Randy, that I have cause to pause, I am not questioning his basketball IQ or his physical prowess.
Right.
The guy is please. I said he's top 10, easy.
Right, but I know, but I don't want our fans to get misconstrued in terms of what we're trying to let them know, right?
I feel you. But again, just to be clear, again, talent-wise, I understand. Momentum, or excuse me, chemistry-wise, and what he could possibly bring to the table with already a headache and Kyrie for some.
Right.
That's just my position is all.
I'll give you that, and I give you that because right now they're not cohesive as it is. So what are they to say whether they remain the same or they get better? Because we don't know yet because they're not even cohesive now. And they're 5-5. So if they figure it out and get cohesive, they're going to be better than a 500 team. So what I'm saying to you is I hear you. He has to come with a better attitude. He has to come in shape. He has to play defense. He has to play his role, whatever role that may be. All right? And that's going to all determine on the coaches. That's why they get paid and what they get paid. But what I'm saying to you on paper, it looks sexy. It might be sexy, but let them play. Let them see how they go. Let them see how they flow. Let's see what happens.
It's
because
early.
right now we're going off just what we see in terms of what the last game he played.
It's early.
I remember the last 11 years he played, and he was always two guard in the last 10 years, if that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to discredit that, but I understand your concern, your reservation. So I'm with you on that.
So we all knew that when they were trying to trade Harden, not a lot of teams were interested for what we knew. So we knew Brooklyn, Philly. Outside of that, that was it. So the question I got here from a fan is that now Oladipo comes into play. He's now a Houston Rocket.
Yeah.
And do you think Oladipo will take another step up in Houston after being an all-star in Indiana?
No, I think he'll take a step back.
A step back? Even with why?
Not enough ball. Not enough ball. If they strategically make him,
there's not enough ball in Brooklyn right now. So
there's enough ball. No, slow down. There's enough ball for Kyrie, KD, and James. There's enough ball for them. Everyone else.
So you're saying now Oladipo goes over there and play with John Wall and with Gordon, PJ Tucker, Boogie Cousins, Christian Wood. There's not enough ball for Oladipo?
Oladipo was what option in Indiana? Third?
He's a two. What? No.
What option was he?
He's a two. He was the first option before he got hurt. Then Sabonis came in and got an all-star bid, and it was him and Sabonis.
So my question
right. Warren got hurt.
Right. So my question is, he's between the 1 and the 2 option in Indiana for a period of time.
At least, yeah.
Fair, right?
And an all-star.
Now he's with
John Wall.
Two former all-star. He's with John Wall who wants to prove a point. DeMarcus Cousins who wants to prove a point. The rookie Woods who wants to prove a point. And then Oladipo. So my answer to the question was, I'm like, do I see him still averaging 20-something points? I'm like, how is that ball going to move around when you're adding Victor Oladipo when he needs his shots, he needs his numbers, he needs his touches? That's my concern with that. Am I wrong? He gets a lot of touches in Indiana because he's one or two, correct? But when you're going to Houston, are you still going to be 1 and 2? Are you still going to be
on that team that's constructed right now?
He can. Right? Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
There's no big players. There's not many players on that team that can be as good as him as a 2 guard.
Yeah, no.
Now, I know if Karis LeVert would have went to Houston, that would have been a better look for Karis because Karis can really hold down it. He's really a solid number 2 on his back. Like, he can hold the team on his back. You've seen that a little bit here and there, right?
LeVert's in Indiana, right?
No,
LeVert in Indiana.
LeVert's in Indiana, right? Oh, free him.
That's what I'm saying. LeVert is in Indiana, so he's going to be that solid 2 who can get you 20 and 8 because he was doing it in the bubble and was doing it when Kyrie was out and Dinwiddie was out. And
so Houston had LeVert, and then they gave him to Indiana. Would you have kept LeVert, or if you had a chance to get Oladipo?
So just to be clear, just to make sure, correct me if I'm wrong. Houston had a chance to keep LeVert and decided to get Oladipo.
They got LeVert in the deal from Brooklyn, and then they shipped him to Indiana for Oladipo.
Bad move. I'm reading something here. Kyrie didn't come to Brooklyn to be the third option. Now he's with KD and James on the roster. I don't know if it's a matter of this person. What's this? OT7 on Twitter. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, again, he left Boston to start his own thing when it comes to Kyrie, and then obviously he convinced Kevin Durant to join him, and then he got James Harden there. I don't think he's worried about being the 1, 2, or 3 option, to be honest with you.
Well, he shouldn't.
Yeah, I think Kyrie's just worried about players being on the team that will play, to his liking per se. But yeah, for Oladipo to get I like that. John Wall, LeVert. No, you put John Wall. You put start Gordon. Get LeVert at the 3. You got
LeVert is Indiana.
Not LeVert.
Oladipo.
Put Oladipo at the 2. Then you have John Wall at the 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have
Tucker.
But I'm talking about before the trade happened.
Oh yeah.
You had LeVert there at Houston. That was a better offensive team. But I mean, LeVert right now, who do I pick? LeVert and Oladipo. I'm picking LeVert. That's just me. What about you? Okay. What about you, Joe?
I like LeVert's upside better than Oladipo. I think Oladipo is way more athletic than him, and probably could shoot a little better. But I think going to the whole strength, the way he plays the pick and roll, the way he can facilitate, take contact. I love Karis LeVert. I love him.
I love him too. And of course, once again, because I just joined the Nets and became a fan, now I have to leave.
I would say that's my most disappointing about the Nets situation is losing him, and Jared Allen, because those are solid pieces already. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't mind. I guess I don't mind losing Jared Allen if I have to, whatever, get Harden. But I didn't like Karis because, one, I think Karis, a team like the Nets can get him to a point where he can feel confident to be a number 1. But maybe Indiana might give the opportunity to give him that. So
Joe,
I'm happy for that. But I'm happy for him, but I'm sad to see him go.
Joe, imagine I'm a Houston fan 7 years ago. Joe, I'll get to it, Randy. Imagine if I'm a Houston fan 7 years ago and I joined to be Houston Rocket. I'm a Houston Rockets fan, and now I'm looking at a team that went from almost going to the NBA Finals, right, to quite possibly not making the playoffs in 7 years with James Harden. I'm looking at a team that Houston, right? I'm a Houston fan at this point. I'm looking at a team that literally got a player who drove all the other good players away when he asked for them. This is why I say I have problems joining teams because they do nonsense. Go ahead, Randy.
2 things. One, I'm gonna read off. You know what? I'll get to this first. So you mentioned why would Houston trade LeVert to get Oladipo? I don't know LeVert's contract, but I know Oladipo's contract. His contract runs out this year. So you're getting now he'll be an expiring contract where you may not give Oladipo a brand new contract. So now he'll come off the books. You get more for the salary cap. to try to sign somebody this off season. So Levert might have a year or two. I don't know the contract right in front of me, but I seen that Oladipo's contract making 21 million this year comes off. So now he'll be a free agent come this summer. So I think that's what their reason or their thinking might have been to get Levert out to bring Oladipo in. And I think that's why the Pacers traded him to not pay Oladipo.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, so it was a one-off. They want to get from under the contract, so I understand. But yeah, so we. I'm hearing I'm seeing somebody mentioned on Twitter also like the Sixers beat Brooklyn matchup in the playoffs. Yes, Embiid's going to have his way. You saw what Embiid did in Miami, right? You saw that, right? 45 in OT. I mean, Sub-Zero Hero. Like I said, did his thing. He dropped 34, light. You know what I mean? But that's what I mean by big men like Allen being critical pieces that you need to win championships. Guys that set screens, rebound, block shots, change shots. Those things are needed in the half-court game when it comes to the playoffs. And that's for me, that's very pivotal and important. What the Nets are trying to tell me, they plan on trying to outscore people. They're not trying to play, your traditional big man defense setup. They're trying to outscore people. That's cute in the East for the regular season. That's cute for the playoffs, maybe. But when you see Thanos in the finals.
But look, Danny, too. The night they won a championship, we did the post game show, and I told you, listen, right now we're picking who would you want for the finals next year, and I said LA and Brooklyn, even without the Harden deal. I say it's got to be Brooklyn, and it got to be LA Lakers. And look, we could be on the way towards that. We just don't know. But I think if KD remains healthy, Kyrie got his head on straight, and James Harden loses weight and gets back to that MVP form. Listen, man, your man had 40+ in day one against Portland. Like he can still get buckets. Just imagine when he's in shape.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I fear no other team in the East but the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the question, as this roster is constructed, as this starting five is constructed, you're trying to tell me that Kevin Durant's guarding, because we were speaking about it earlier with Joe a little bit. So is Kevin Durant guarding Giannis? Really? Really? That's what we're doing?
He might have to.
I'm very fearful of the Bucks because they never had a player like Holiday on that team last year.
Right.
Okay? So you say all you want about those players on that team. God bless them. They didn't lose too many people. But when you bring Holiday on, he's not the type to just sit back and watch a team wither away. He's going to do something, either defensively or offensively. He's not going to just allow team to for the team to lose a lead or what. He's going to do something to keep that team alive or win that game. So it's going to be interesting. I love the matchups already. Giannis, KD, Holiday, Kyrie. I'm not even paying attention to Harden because he's going to have a field day with Middleton. So it's going to be interesting what chess pieces and moves Coach Bud and the next coaching staff of D'Antoni. Shout out to Steve Nash.
So Joe, real quick, Brooklyn is in at the Garden tonight. They got Orlando on Saturday and Milwaukee on Monday. So when do you think the earliest we see James Harden? Maybe at least by Monday, but do you think we see him Saturday against Orlando?
Next week.
Yeah, this week.
Next week.
When's the next couple of games?
Okay. They got the Knicks tonight. They got Orlando Saturday and Milwaukee Monday. and then after that, the Cavaliers, and then Miami.
I think so I would want to say Milwaukee, but I gotta remember of the COVID health restrictions. That may take a lot of that might take the transition of days to kind of play until that Monday game, and then you have to get a couple practices. So I'm thinking like he might do the back-to-back Cleveland games. This one is it gets him acclimated. 2, it gets him the COVID healthy safety protocol out the way, and 3, it gives you more time to get used to your team, and especially playing against Cleveland, who is guard oriented. Colin Sexton is a solid player. They got a few more pieces there, and I think that would be a nice little transition for him to play with a team against Cleveland as opposed to Milwaukee. So I think Milwaukee might be the answer, but I don't know the health and safety protocols and how much time he'll need to get acclimated. So I'm gonna probably stretch it out to probably say Cleveland he'll play.
Yeah, next week.
So overall, you felt, again, it's tough to replace a talent like James Harden to get equal value. I know the Rockets got a shitload of draft picks and draft swaps, and they get Oladipo and Dante Exum or whatever. But do you feel Houston got like a decent amount for James Harden? Do you feel they could have done better? Again, Philly was not trading Maxey and Ben Simmons, so that wasn't going to happen. Ain't nobody really else was up there to trade or had assets. Who?
Doc drunk. You give him Maxey. You give him Maxey. You give him up.
And Ben Simmons.
No. Yeah.
That's the deal breaker.
Yeah, but even then, I understand Ben because Ben can't shoot.
And at that time, Harden only gave a few options where he want to play it anyway.
Yeah, we gave 2. Obviously, Philly and Brooklyn, right? And Philly,
Miami. Then he said Miami.
Yeah,
yeah. Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, they ain't giving that up.
First of all, Pat Riley looked at James Harden. The Pat Riley I know from the Knicks, from the Lakers.
Culture.
So basically, Joe. So he sat back and watched what James Harden did in the last 7 years and said, "Keep him the hell off my team." Right. We don't need that.
You don't need that. You got Butler, and you got Bam Adebayo, and you got young studs. That wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense for Brooklyn only because you got a budding star in the making that you could probably, but you swapped them for Oladipo, and that could be for the salary cap. So cool. Oladipo is not Harden, but Oladipo is probably better than Levert.
Joe, do you think if they don't 5 years from now, Brooklyn wins 0 chips? This trade worth it?
No. I don't think so. Actually, I know so. It's not.
No, it's not. Go ahead, Randy.
That's what I forgot. So right now, how much you think Oladipo is averaging right now?
17.
Joe?
21.
25 and 4.
It's decent.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
I mean, you ain't getting 25 and 30 a night like James Harden, but it's something. It's something.
At the same time, you get somebody that wants to play basketball, play there. So that's the difference between Harden and Oladipo. You get Harden out of there. You don't want to be Houston Rocket. Maybe he feel better in Brooklyn. Hope he does better there. But you get a guard that needs to prove his contract, who could play. He could play both sides of the court. And you get somebody that wants to play basketball, and it's a really good athletic 2 guard in the West. So I think that I think it makes sense. I don't think you can never get back talent for guys like Durant and LeBron and Harden and these guys. So I think that we got to sit and wait to figure it out how this all went down and how it works out. So
I can't wait for Houston to make the playoffs and make some noise.
So right now you have the Rockets making the playoffs.
Yes. I think. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
They would have made it with Harden there or not. Like, I just feel like if he had a better attitude and he didn't have the out of shape or whatever, didn't care moment, they would have been at least a 6-7 seed at least. So you add Oladipo, who could probably be a 5th seed, 6th seed maybe. I think the Rockets will make the playoffs.
I'm just quoting James Harden. We suck. I'm just quoting James Harden. You feel me?
That was a rant. That was a rant to get out of there, bro. That was a rant.
I feel you.
That's a rant.
I feel you.
So right now, the Houston Rockets are 14th in the Western Conference. All right. So top 8: Lakers make it. Clippers make it. Utah makes it. Phoenix makes it. Portland, they're fifth right now. The Mavericks, still without KP. The Warriors are seventh. San Antonio, eighth right now. So right now, you don't have the Thunder. You don't have Denver in the top 8. You don't have the Pelicans in the top 8. Memphis, who made it last year, is 13th. Houston is 14th right now. So you're telling me they'll make that jump?
It's a long season. We've had seasons where teams have literally turned the corner and lost the last 30 games. We've had seasons like that, and then we've had seasons where teams literally got hot into the playoffs. We have injuries. All these things matter. So I'm just saying that to say I can't wait for the Houston Rockets to play their very first game in Brooklyn. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to be the first. Let me tell you, bro, popcorn, Doritos, oh, it's going to be beautiful. Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
Man, listen, could you imagine if the fans were allowed in the arena like regular and they get James Harden there? Listen, I'm not a fan of Barclays. The seating is terrible. The Garden is better. But I can't even imagine that crowd just going apeshit to have KD, Kyrie, and Harden still young in their prime all at the same time in New York City is like that for me as a fan. That's tough. Like
you just got to
sit back anywhere else.
That you got to sit back and appreciate that because they're right. They're like 11 miles from us right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is unprecedented. Like you can't get 3 superstars in one city. It's unfortunate Knicks can't get on that map to get a superstar, but they're in process right now.
Well, Joe, speaking of that, Bradley Beal.
Yes, sir. Tough as nails.
Now, what you giving up for the Knicks for Bradley Beal?
Okay, tell me before you answer that, is it a lower deal than what Harden got? The same? More? Like, look at what Harden got. Like 4 draft picks, 4 swaps, 2 players. But Bradley Beal, if that was to happen, what kind of deal are we looking at? Same, a little lower?
Joe, I'll let you start. You need time? I'll start it if you need time.
I mean, probably a little better.
What are you offering from the Knicks for Bradley Beal? Is my question. All right, let me make it. Obi Toppin, we're offering Obi. We're offering.
No, I think you saw RJ Barrett. You saw RJ Barrett.
So you
RJ, Obi, Ntilikina, Knox, draft picks.
All right, if I say RJ Barrett, draft picks, Knox, Ntilikina,
right for Bradley Beal.
For Bradley Beal. I mean, that still don't sound enough.
It don't sound.
It's a matter of negotiation.
It's negotiation. I mean, but I know they'll want RJ and probably Mitchell Robinson and then maybe a draft pick or something like that. No. Maybe, but it's a lot.
Hold on to Mitchell. Give him the draft picks. Give him RJ. Give him Knox. Everybody except Randall. To me. Everyone except Randall.
And quickly,
and Robinson.
So you
know what's amazing?
Free reign.
You already saying Obi's got it out of here?
Obi's a valuable pick that I don't expect them to not ask for. That's the only reason. I want Obi to stay, but I know he's that good that he's a jewel. He's a jewel.
Right. Okay.
Feel me?
Yeah, right.
But I'm saying it's amazing that if we were talking about it last year, I think if you ask Knicks fans, who would you want to trade for X, Y, and Z? Randall will be the first name they say, aside with Ntilikina. Now he's playing a different kind of game. Now it's like, you know what? Keep Randall, but you could trade this guy and that guy. Last year, trade him. Now it's like, you know what? I want to keep him.
Julius Randle came to the Knicks last year and played piss poor. He took too many threes. Mm-hmm. He was turning the ball over. And that could be because his confidence was shot. That could be because who's the head coach? Who was he playing under last year? That's how bad the team is. I don't even know who's the coach was before.
Mike Miller was the interim.
Okay, the interim. Okay, yeah. See, so he took a summer, lost some weight.
Yeah.
Now he's back, confident, and then he knows he has a coach that's going to be there for a period of time. And Tibbs went in there and was like, "Yo, bro, you're the guy. I need you to be our LeBron."
Right.
And that's exactly what he's been up until this point. He's been playing like a LeBron of the East. He's an all-star. I'm proud of him. He's not shooting any more threes. Thank you, Jesus. Adios. Thank you, Jesus. No more tris. He's taking mid-range games. He's posting. He's getting other teammates involved. And there's no confusion about where everyone's going. All the Knicks need right now, honestly, what y'all really need right now to compete is development of Quickly or another good point guard. That's the only thing you guys really need. RJ Ballard is improving. Obviously, Obi's going to come along. You got Mitchell Robinson to play D. You got Randall to score. You just need a facilitator, which you don't have.
So I got one question before we wrap it up. So I just thought about it. So Miami's big three, Wade, Bosh, and LeBron, right? They went to 4 straight finals. They won 2. So Danny Blanco and Joe, with this brand new big three of KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. When it's all said and done, in order for that big three to be better than LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, what do they have to do? Do they have to go to 4 straight finals? Do they have to win 3 as opposed to the 2? What do you think? What propels this big three to go over the Miami big three?
Joe, you want to get this one? This is very simple for me.
You go ahead.
3 rings. LeBron was there for 3 years, right?
4.
4 years. Out of 4 years, he won 2 rings.
2.
That's the window. Do it. And then I also read too. Go ahead, Randy. What?
But can they be better?
Oh no. Can they? I don't believe so. Based on how the East is constructed right now, I don't believe they have it in them with the James, and maybe they add another piece. I don't see them winning 2 out of 4 years a championship. I don't see it from this group. Maybe they'll sneak a 1. Maybe.
Yeah, they got to get 1. They got to get 1.
Everybody's suggesting that because of the talent they're supposed to, right? But we all know chemistry, injuries, etc., etc. But with the way it's constructed now, I'm just hoping that they make it there without injuries, and they actually. But to answer your question, Miami, they have to win 3 rings, which I don't think they'll do.
Go.
They have to win 3 rings. They're not going to win this year. The next 3 years will be the window for them to win. Can they be better than that Miami Heat team? Damn near close. But I would tell you that they have a better coach, and that's going to probably be the factor right now. If they can't play defense and the coaches don't change their mindset for defense as opposed to offense, which is where they're going to go. I know that Miami Heat team played defense, and they used to lock you up, and they played in a tougher era, with Spurs and all these teams that were really, really potent. And so, like Denny said, if they got to get 3, and I think they can really be dominant in the East if they get it together. Maybe this offseason they pick up a few pieces to kind of add to it, and then starts their march towards that. But who knows? You might sneak one out. You might. That's the beauty in this trade, is like the gift and the curse. You just gotta take what you want and figure out what you're going to keep moving forward. So can they be better than the Heat? No, I don't think so right now. If they win 3 in a row, yeah, they have a conversation, but I gotta understand the eras and the conferences that we're at. So
just one. Just get 1, bro. Just get 1. Like James,
one is easy. I think the 1 could be easy.
James, and that's the thing. Like for me right now, Kevin has one. Kyrie has one.
KD has 2.
Excuse
KD
me.
got 2.
He has 2. Correction. Right. You're absolutely right. James, the first game, James should drop 55. And then. Now, see, this is what you want. If you want to turn the corner, Randy, Joe, you're talking about, you sound so, down Dennis early, Denny early in the early in the conversation about James Harden. Hey, James, you want to turn the corner? You want me to turn the corner? First game, you drop 55. Second game, you tell Kevin Durant and Kyrie to take 2 weeks off. You got this. And you carry the team for 2 weeks. That'll impress me. Okay? That'll impress me. You coming along and just saying, hey, I'm here now. I'm going to lose some weight. Hey, Kevin, pass me the ball, bro. I'm going to drop you. I'm going to give you a little 10. I'll give you a little 10 and sit on the bench.
You know what I thought you were gonna say real quick. If Harden goes get 50 one night, then he tells Durant, "All right, you get 50 tonight." And then Durant does that, and then he tells Kyrie, "Now you get 50 tonight." They just kind of like a within itself competition.
Kevin Durant's back is hurting right now because he's carrying the team because Kyrie has taken some time off, so he needs some help. So James Harden being there is going to give him some help that he obviously wants and needs. It's just a matter of, will this chemistry work by the end of the year? Are they going to be begging to get rid of James Harden? That is the question.
And real quick, Joe, I think this move was important for Durant too. So coming off that injury, there's a lot of back-to-backs. So there might be a couple games where KD's like, you know what? I'll let Kyrie and James take care of it. Give me a night off here and there. So I think it's better for him knowing that I got 2 prolific ball players right now in my spot. Until I come back, now I'm more potent to take a game off here and there.
I mean, I'm just going to sit and wait and watch the game, man. I think that us as analysts, we're trying to really find the answer, and the answer is when they get on the floor, they're going to have to figure it out. And I believe in those 3. Believe it or not, those guys can be a little bit loofy at times, and with this whole Kyrie situation, I just think that it's going to work out. I think that they're going to figure it out. And I think that this might make the coaching staff a little better because now they got to really control and coach three egos and get them on one page. So I think that all the way around, like let's talk about this. Let's talk about this 10 games in and see what's up, right? I think right now we're hoping, we're excited, want to see where it can go, and that's all good and dandy. But we all ball players. It takes time to really mesh and figure it out, and especially with the coaching staff to kind of put in plays and pieces for them to be successful. It's a work in progress, but I'm excited. New York should be excited. Brooklyn should be excited. Basketball should be excited. And all I know, if they fail, they better not give a pass to any one of those guys the same way they will be as hard as LeBron if he was losing. So I hope that's the case, that the media can be even keel in terms of their assessment of where the team should be at. And all the pressure they put on LeBron to win. Now there's no excuses why this team can't win.
None whatsoever. There's no excuses. He hit it right on the head. There's no excuses. I'm just, obviously I'm excited to see the games and how this team is going to look. And, I want nothing would excite me more than the Brooklyn Nets shutting everyone up.
Yeah.
Nothing will excite me more, bro.
Right.
I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting for that to happen. Until then, I'll hold my breath. You heard.
On that note, Danny Blanco, my man, always appreciate it. Congrats to your Brooklyn Nets on this crazy day of a trade. We'll see what happens. Good luck to KD, Kyrie, and James. Hope they stay healthy and all that good stuff during the year. I am Danny Blanco on both Instagram and Twitter. You can find me at Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, the letter JCRUZ on both IG and Twitter. Also find my brother Joe on Twitter at Hoops in the Sun, IG at J Cruz CEO. You can find the podcast on the Ball Is Life Podcast Network. Also the Cruise Control Podcast Network now on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and now on YouTube. Gentlemen, thank you. Appreciate it.
Peace out.
Appreciate it. Go James Harden.
Oh boy.